Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is enjoying their day. Please subscribe and like the video before continuing. The Young and the Restless spoilers Thursday, August 7th, Claire vs. Audra, Adam's tough decision, Lily torn. The Young and the Restless spoilers are in for Thursday, August 7th, 2025. Fans can expect Claire Grace Newman, Haley Aaron, to get clear with Audra Charles, Zuleika Silver. Get updates on the latest news about The Young and the Restless, straight to your inbox. We use your personal data for interest-based advertising, as outlined in our privacy notice. What is this? Kyle Abbott, Michael Mueller, offers Adam Newman, Mark Grossman, a proposition. Plus, Victor Newman, Eric Braden, tries to recruit Lily Winters, Crystal Khalil. Keep reading and let's discuss what's coming up in the next episode of the CBS soap opera. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Kyle Abbott's confession. Fans just watched as Kyle confessed. However, it wasn't on his own. The man was cornered by his girlfriend when she directly asked if anything had happened. Instead of saying he kissed Audra, he said he played her. Claire wasn't exactly happy about this, but there's still a little part she doesn't know. Kyle Abbott's proposition. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Thursday, August 7th reveal that Claire tags along with Kyle to Adam's office. The blonde will start doing the talking in the beginning. However, it is stated that it is Kyle who tries to make a deal with Adam. It might just be an apartment, but it will be a big message to Victor. Read this. The Young and the Restless continues to make changes backstage with Jill Farron Phelps return Y&R Kyle Abbott's confession. Kyle Abbott had always been the golden boy of the Abbott family, polished, poised, and carrying the legacy of Jabot with pride. But underneath the surface, secrets brewed. Secrets he had buried for too long. And now, as the walls closed in, Kyle found himself standing at a crossroads, knowing the only way forward was through a confession that could change everything. It all began weeks earlier when his affair with Audra Charles started to spiral out of control. What had initially been a way to rebel, to forget summer's coldness and Claire's sudden presence, had turned into something darker. Kyle was no stranger to temptation, but this time, he wasn't just playing with fire, he was setting his own life ablaze. Audra had been bold and seductive, promising him excitement and edge. She whispered secrets about Victor, about Tucker, and even about Nate, luring Kyle deeper into a dangerous game of power and betrayal. And Kyle, resentful of the control his family wielded over his life, leaned into the chaos. But guilt grew as fast as the lies. Jack's unwavering trust. Harrison's innocent smile. Summer's wounded eyes. They haunted Kyle at night. Then, everything came to a head when Claire confided in him that she believed Victor was manipulating her mother, Victoria. Claire suspected Audra might be involved. Kyle froze. He knew things he shouldn't have known, because of Audra. One night, Kyle stood alone in the Abbott mansion, staring at the portrait of John Abbott. The pressure of legacy bore down on him. Could he live with himself if he kept quiet? Could he continue down this road without tearing the family apart? The answer was no. He made the decision the next morning. In the Jabot boardroom, Kyle called an emergency meeting. Jack, Ashley, Billy, Diane, and Tracy arrived, each puzzled and slightly tense. Kyle looked around, locking eyes with his father. His voice trembled as he began. I have something to say, something I should have said a long time ago. Ashley arched a brow. Kyle, what's going on? Kyle inhaled deeply. I've been involved with Audra Charles. It started after summer and I separated. At first, it was casual, but it quickly became more. I thought I could control it. But I was wrong. I let her manipulate me. She used me to get inside Jabot, she used what I knew to get closer to Victor's plans. Jack's face went pale. You told her company secrets? I didn't mean to, Kyle admitted. But I let things slip. And I knew what I was doing. I ignored the signs because I was angry and lost. Billy jumped up. Are you telling us Audra is spying on Jabot for Victor? Kyle shook his head. Not just Victor. Tucker too. I think they've been playing both sides. Audra got close to Nate to feed him info, and used me to keep tabs on our strategies. I don't know what their endgame is, but I couldn't live with myself if I didn't come clean. Ashley stood, folding her arms. Why now? Because Claire came to me, Kyle said. She's scared for Victoria. She thinks Victor's about to destroy something big, and Audra is a part of it. And if I stay silent, I'm complicit. Diane's lip trembled. Kyle, how could you? I messed up, he said, his voice cracking. I betrayed this family. But I want to make it right. Jack remained silent for a long time. Then, slowly, he said, you did the right thing coming clean. But this won't be easy. I know, Kyle said. I'm willing to face the consequences. News of Kyle's confession rocked Genoa City. The Abbotts were divided. Some, like Tracy and Billy, supported him for his honesty. Others, like Ashley, believed he had endangered the family legacy. Summer confronted him at society. How long was it going on? She demanded. Kyle lowered his gaze. Longer than I want to admit. I thought I hated you. I thought I was justified. But it wasn't about you. It was about me not being able to deal with who I was becoming. Tears welled in her eyes. And what now? You've handed Victor and Audra everything they need. No, Kyle said. Because I still have leverage. He met with Victor at Newman Tower. You've been playing a dangerous game, Kyle said. But I'm not your pawn anymore. Victor leaned back, amused. Is that so? You used Audra to get to Jabot, to hurt Jack. But if you don't back off, I'll expose the whole thing. Every tactic. Every manipulation. I'll go to the SEC, the press, anyone who'll listen. Victor chuckled. And what makes you think they'll believe you? Kyle slid a flash drive across the table. Because I recorded everything. Every call. Every meeting. Every deal. Victor's eyes narrowed. You may be the great Victor Newman, Kyle said, standing. But I'm done living in your shadow. He left, unsure of what Victor would do next, but knowing, finally, he had taken back control. At Jabot, Jack decided to take swift action. We're cutting Audra off. No more access to any internal documents. And we're launching a full investigation into the leaks. Ashley was skeptical. You think Kyle can be trusted now? Jack looked at his son. He made a mistake. But owning it? That takes courage. Kyle, meanwhile, made amends where he could. He spoke to Harrison, promising to be the father he needed. He apologized to Summer, not expecting forgiveness, but asking for peace. And he reached out to Claire, offering to help protect her and Victoria from whatever Victor had planned. Claire was hesitant at first. Why should I trust you? Because I know what it feels like to be used, Kyle said. And I'm done being someone else's puppet. Together, they began to uncover the truth behind Audra's latest moves. Turns out, Audra had her own agenda, one even Victor hadn't seen coming. She was aligning herself with a new investor, someone outside Genoa City, with the intent to stage a hostile takeover of Chancellor Winters, then Jabot. When Tucker caught wind of it, he panicked. He confronted Audra at the Grand Phoenix. You were supposed to be loyal. I was loyal to me, she sneered. And you should have seen this coming. But her plan unraveled when Claire and Kyle exposed the offshore accounts, tying Audra to fraudulent transfers from Newman subsidiary shell corporations. Victor, furious, cut her loose immediately, not wanting the scandal traced back to him. Audra fled town, leaving behind a trail of destruction. In the end, Kyle stood on the patio of the Abbott mansion once more, this time with Jack. "I'm proud of you," Jack said quietly. "Not for the choices you made, but for the man you're becoming." Kyle nodded. "I still have a lot to fix." "You will," Jack said. "You're an Abbott." Kyle knew his road to redemption wouldn't be quick or easy. But he had confessed. He had owned up. And now, for the first time in a long time, he could breathe again. Genoa City had seen many scandals, but this one would linger, reshaping the power dynamics of Jabot, Newman Enterprises, and the people caught in between. And Kyle Abbott? He was no longer the golden boy. He was something more dangerous. A man who had nothing left to hide. Lily Winters torn. Over with Lily, she will get a request from Victor. The patriarch will want Lily to join forces with him against Kane Ashby, Billy Flynn. However, Victor burned Lily pretty badly before and she still hasn't forgotten it. At the same time, Lily is filled with rage toward Kane. This reminds me of when she joined forces with Victor after getting fired by Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson. What is this? That situation didn't work out so well for Lily, either. I could see Lily accepting the deal because she has so much rage toward Kane. However, will she really get what she wants this time? I'm wondering if her feelings for Kane might make that alliance with Victor a bit too messy, so stay tuned. Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most on Thursday, August 7, 2025? To find out what happens next. Y&R Lily Winters torn. Lily Winters stood in her office at Chancellor Winters, her fingers resting lightly on the edge of her desk, staring blankly at the city skyline beyond the glass. On the outside, she appeared calm, collected, every inch the powerful executive who had worked so hard to rise in Genoa City's cutthroat business world. But inside, a storm was brewing. She was being pulled in every direction, by love, by loyalty, by ambition, and by the mounting pressure threatening to crush everything she had built. It all started when Billy Abbott, her on-again off-again partner in both business and romance, returned to Chancellor Winters full-time. His return was supposed to bring balance, his creativity matched with her structure. But the truth was more complicated. Billy's erratic decisions, growing alliance with Chelsea, and clear emotional confusion had begun to fracture their relationship yet again. And then there was the wild card, Daniel Romalotti. Lily had rekindled a close friendship with Daniel during the time they both tried to help their daughter, Lucy, and co-parent with Heather in a drama-free way. But friendship wasn't the only thing growing between them. There was trust. There was ease. There was an emotional intimacy Billy could never quite sustain. Daniel listened in ways Billy didn't. He showed up when it mattered, and didn't bring chaos with him. Yet the timing was never right. Lily remained tied to Billy, by business, by shared history, by the weight of everything they had tried to make work. She told herself loyalty mattered more than passion. But her heart was starting to rebel. As if her personal life wasn't tangled enough, Devon had recently started questioning Lily's business decisions. The smooth-running partnership they once shared had grown tense. Devon believed Lily had become too distracted, too lenient, especially with Billy, and he didn't hide his concerns. At a recent board meeting, Devon challenged her openly. "You can't keep giving Billy free rein, Lily. We need stability." "I'm managing him," Lily insisted. "Are you? Or are you just hoping he doesn't spiral again?" His words stung, but they weren't wrong. Lily had turned a blind eye to some of Billy's impulsive moves. She told herself it was strategic, that giving him space would eventually pay off. But Devon saw it for what it was, emotional hesitation clouding leadership. Later that evening, Lily met Daniel at Crimson Lights. They sat across from each other, sipping coffee in the quiet hum of the cafe. "You look exhausted," Daniel said gently. Lily gave a tired smile. "That obvious? You're juggling too much." Maybe you need to take a step back. I can't afford to, she said. Not now. The company's on the edge, and Devon's already breathing down my neck. Daniel reached across the table, his hand brushing hers. What about you? When was the last time you asked what you needed? The question lingered long after she left. The very next day, Lily walked into her office to find a sealed manila envelope waiting on her desk. It was from Jill. The matriarch of Chancellor Winters had been largely silent lately, letting Lily and Devon steer the company, but this envelope changed everything. Inside were confidential documents, a proposal from Victor Newman himself. He was offering a buyout, partial control of Chancellor Winters in exchange for infusing capital through Newman Enterprises. It was bold. Risky. Game-changing. Lily was stunned. Victor bypassed the board, bypassed Devon, and came straight to her. It was a clear sign he saw her as the power player, someone who could be persuaded. Someone who was torn. Jill's accompanying note read, "Think about it carefully. The future of this company may depend on it." But Lily knew Devon would never agree. Their father, Neil Winters, had worked too hard to build a legacy free from Newman and Abbott manipulation. Selling any part of the company to Victor would be seen as betrayal. She sat with the proposal in silence for an hour before finally calling Devon. "We need to talk," she said. Devon's reaction was predictable. "Absolutely not. We are not handing over any control to Victor." "He's not asking for control," Lily argued. "He's offering investment in exchange for a minority stake. We'd keep leadership. You know that's never how it works with Victor. He always finds a way in." Lily sighed. "We need resources, Devon. This could secure our future." Devon looked at her with narrowed eyes. "Or it could mean selling out everything Dad built." The tension between them grew in the days that followed. Meanwhile, Billy got wind of the situation and took it as a sign that Lily was losing her grip. Rather than helping, he started plotting, reaching out to contacts at Newman and even Tucker McCall, trying to undercut Victor's offer with one of his own. His meddling only fueled Lily's doubts. When she confronted Billy, he didn't deny it. "I thought I could protect you," he said. "Victor never does anything without strings." "You went behind my back," Lily snapped. "This isn't about protecting me, it's about control." Billy's expression hardened. "You're making decisions without me. Maybe we're both playing a game we can't win." That night, Lily found herself alone again, weighed down by uncertainty. Her relationship with Billy was fraying, her trust in Devon was cracking, and her bond with Daniel was growing stronger by the day. Then came the final straw. Daniel admitted he had been offered a new creative venture in Europe, an independent studio, far from the corporate grind of Genoa City. It was a dream job. And he wanted Lily to come with him. "I don't expect you to say yes," he told her. "But I had to ask." Lily stared at him, stunned. Part of her wanted to run. To escape the power struggles, the heartbreak, the impossible expectations. With Daniel, there was peace. Simplicity. A life unburdened by legacy. But Chancellor Winters was more than just a company. It was her family's name. Her father's dream. Her own blood, sweat, and years of effort. Could she really walk away? Lily stood before the board 2 days later. Jill had flown in. Devon sat beside her, tense. Billy was absent, by choice. Daniel watched from the back of the room. "I've made my decision," Lily said. "I've reviewed Victor's proposal. And I've decided to decline." A ripple of surprise went through the room. Devon exhaled. "But," she continued, "I'm also stepping down as CEO." "What?" Jill stood. "Lily, no." Lily raised her hand. "It's time. I've given everything I can. But I'm no longer the person to lead this company forward." Not like this. Devon looked at her, speechless. I'm not leaving Chancellor Winters completely, she added. I'll serve in a consulting capacity, assist with the transition, and stay involved on major initiatives. But I need space, to think, to breathe, to decide who I want to be next. Later, she met Daniel at the park. He smiled softly as she approached. You're not running away, he said. No, Lily replied. I'm walking towards something else. They didn't speak of Europe that night. Didn't plan or decide. For now, it was enough to stand side by side, hearts lighter, futures unwritten. Because for the first time in years, Lily Winters wasn't being pulled in every direction. She was choosing her own. Y&R Lily Winters Torn, Part 2. The decision to step down as CEO shook Genoa City's business elite. Lily's move, though graceful, sparked shockwaves throughout Chancellor Winters and sent reporters and board members scrambling for answers. Why now? Why walk away when she had finally secured her seat at the top? Behind closed doors, some whispered that Lily had cracked under pressure. Others praised her for choosing peace over the never-ending battlefield of corporate warfare. But the one thing no one could deny was that Lily's exit had changed the game. Jill was blindsided. You built this, Lily, Jill said during a private meeting at the athletic club. You were the glue holding everything together. Lily shook her head. I was holding everything too tightly. I lost sight of what I wanted. Maybe it's time Devon stepped into a bigger role. Jill scoffed. Devon is brilliant, but he's emotional. He'll never play the political game like you can. I don't want to play that game anymore, Lily replied quietly. Still, Lily didn't walk away entirely. She kept her consulting role and remained involved with several major philanthropic partnerships she had championed under Chancellor Winters. But her day-to-day power was gone, and with it, a weight lifted off her shoulders. Daniel, sensing her need for healing, didn't push her toward Europe again. Instead, he stayed in Genoa City longer than expected, helping Lucy transition into a new school year and quietly becoming a steady presence in Lily's life. Their relationship, once fragile and undefined, began to blossom naturally. Meanwhile, things at Chancellor Winters were anything but calm. Devon stepped into the leadership void with fierce determination, but it quickly became clear that not everyone supported him. The board was divided. Investors grew nervous. Billy, although still on the payroll, became increasingly disconnected. Without Lily to balance him, Billy drifted, showing up late to meetings, ignoring emails, and making wild suggestions in executive strategy sessions. Devon finally had enough. I think you need to take a break, Billy, Devon said bluntly during a tense meeting. Billy laughed dryly. Oh. So now you're running things? That's right, Devon said. And until you show me you're committed to this company, I'm putting your role on pause. Billy stormed out, furious. The fallout rippled through the Abbotts. Jack tried to mediate, but even he admitted that Billy had been spiraling for months. Without Lily's influence, he seemed lost. But Billy wasn't the only one unraveling. Victor Newman had not taken Lily's rejection lightly. The patriarch of Newman Enterprises considered her one of the few remaining power players worth aligning with. Her choice to walk away, and to reject his offer, left him suspicious. She knows something, Victor told Nikki one evening. No one turns down that kind of opportunity unless they're protecting something. Victor's suspicions turned to Daniel. He launched a quiet investigation, using Newman's resources to dig into Daniel's past business dealings, hoping to find a weakness. What he uncovered instead stunned him. Daniel had once pitched a gaming concept to a European conglomerate with ties to Tucker McCall. And that concept had resurfaced, with slight modifications, under another name in a startup based in Berlin. Victor raised an eyebrow. Interesting. He called Audra back to town under the guise of helping clean up old business, but in truth, he wanted her to watch Daniel and Lily. Find out what their next move is, Victor instructed. And if it threatens me, eliminate it. Audra, eager to reclaim her power in Genoa City, accepted the mission without hesitation. She re-entered the scene by approaching Billy, still bitter and directionless. You've been cast aside, she purred at society's bar. I know the feeling. Maybe we should compare battle scars. Billy, drunk and angry, didn't turn her down. It wasn't long before their flirtation turned into a full-blown alliance, one rooted in mutual vengeance. Billy wanted to reclaim his stake in Chancellor Winters, and Audra wanted to rise again after her exile. Let's give them a reason to regret sidelining us, Audra whispered as she handed Billy a file, a preliminary draft of a merger proposal that would bring Chancellor Winters into direct competition with a Newman-backed startup. Billy's eyes gleamed. This could work. Elsewhere, Lily began to sense something brewing. She caught wind of Victor's renewed interest in Daniel and even overheard whispers about Audra's return. Her instincts told her trouble was coming. She confronted Daniel in his suite. Is there anything you haven't told me? She asked, arms crossed. Daniel hesitated. There's something. Years ago, before I came back to Genoa City, I pitched a project. A gaming concept called Luminal World. I never sold it, but someone else might have used it after I pulled back. Who? I don't know, Daniel admitted. But it might have gotten into Tucker's orbit. And if Victor found out? Then we're both targets, Lily finished. The danger wasn't hypothetical. Soon, she started receiving cryptic messages, veiled threats, even surveillance photos of her walking with Daniel. It was clear someone was watching. Lily turned to the one person she didn't want to face, Devon. He listened silently as she laid everything out, Victor's offer, Daniel's past, Audra's reappearance, Billy's betrayal. I need your help, Lily said finally. This goes beyond family drama. If we don't move fast, Chancellor Winters could be blindsided. Devon nodded. We'll fight back. Together. What followed was a whirlwind of strategy meetings, legal briefings, and behind-the-scenes maneuvering. Lily, despite her step back, dove headfirst into defense mode. She worked alongside Amanda Sinclair to reinforce legal protections, rallied board members, and even reached out to Nate Hastings, offering him a way back in exchange for intel on Newman's plans. Surprisingly, Nate agreed, exposing an under-the-table agreement Victor had drafted with a shell company to purchase Chancellor Winters' shares on the open market. They moved quickly to block the transaction. In the end, it was a press conference that turned the tide. Lily stood before a room full of reporters and investors at the GCAC, flanked by Devon, Amanda, and Daniel. We've seen attempts to destabilize Chancellor Winters, she said calmly. But this company is stronger than any single person. It's built on legacy. On vision. And on trust. She didn't name Victor. She didn't have to. The message was clear, the Winters family would not be manipulated. Victor, watching from the Newman office, smiled thinly. She's tougher than I thought, he muttered. Audra, standing behind him, said nothing, but her eyes burned. Weeks later, things had settled, at least for now. Devon had solidified his leadership. Billy was off licking his wounds with Audra, their partnership more dangerous than ever. Victor had retreated, for now, but his interest in Lily had only deepened. And Daniel? He had chosen to stay. I could go to Europe, he told Lily one night. But I'd rather be here, with you. Lily looked at him, her heart full but cautious. Let's not rush it. Let's just breathe. Because for the first time in a long time, Lily Winters wasn't just caught in the middle. She was in control. Of her heart, her future, and the legacy she intended to protect. But in Genoa City, peace never lasts. And as new players emerged, old threats resurfaced, and power shifted once more, one truth remained clear. Lily Winters might be torn. But she would never be broken.